Hello, good evening, my dear YouTube viewers. Today also we will discuss the last part, last subchapter of the caste system. That is census perspective, the caste system. The census contains information about the people number, that is age wise, sex, occupation, education, etc. Even pre-colonial states is also conducted census. Example by Manusmriti Kalahan, he mentioned in the Rajaniti Sara book, and N.E. Akbar. So in this it was mentioned. Its main aim is to control the large and diverse of Indian population. Both caste and religion is useful to recognize the nature of the people, such as insanity, intelligence, desire, ability for fight or army. But later, religion progressed or recognized, and caste was disappeared. So only religion is moving upward, caste is downward. Caste act as a key factor in census during 1871 to 1931. Particularly in 1931, they focused on distribution of general population, whereas in 1941 they used it to measure the economic status during wartime. In 1951, focused on scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and limited number of castes taken from the backward group. First time, the commission was found for them, that is the backward classes, by Mr. Roy Burman and Galanter. Due to the differences of caste groups, India cannot form and unite and rule by themselves. So Britishers utilized this opportunity to rule us. These are nothing but our weak points, they made it as the positive points. Due to social and economic factors, many people use it to practice casteism. Caste in census. The word caste is, from the census point of view, is derived from a Portuguese language, the word casta, that is the breed, species, tribes. But in our Hindu system, we used the word varna and jati. So up to 17th to 18th century, it was like that. The economy, migration, and ecological differences are helping to form the new caste. That further developed the confusion. How? Because two castes are mixing, that is fusion. Fission means division. Fission of caste. Finally, the enculturation phenomenon had been taken place. As a result, new caste came. The enculturation means when two cultures come to contact, when it is mixed together, lost their originality and form the new caste. So that phenomenon we call it as enculturation. Unsettled conditions of Mughal Empire period, the scheduled tribe and lower caste people become strong and they ruled their own area by themselves. So Rajputs or Kshatriyas dominated in those areas and had given the chance for the priest positions to the Brahmins. Caste and religion concepts are useful to explain the native behavior of the people. Race and word came from the scientific preoccupation to classify many races. This subject only confined for the just presentation. Later we will discuss about the races. Though subcaste may differ, but through their generic name, bring all people together. Example, it has been observed in few groupings. All India Yadava Sabha, that is cattle rearing group or caste at the community. Second, Akhila Bharatiya Nayi Brahmins Mahasabha, this is Barbers community. Due to Western culture and education, all caste people lost their faith in their own caste system. The Hindu Mahasabha did not want any caste-based census because it was counteracted by the Muslim group. In 1931, out of 238 million, 1.8 million said no castes. The Bengal people caste-based census is only favored to the specific community. It was mentioned in 1941 census. Already I told you 1931, 41 and 51. So in Assam, Hindu Mahasabha, they said Adivasi are also treated as Hindus. They started the meetings under the name of title of Sanatana Adivasis. That is, they were also belongs to the Indian nation. It was presented in the Amrit Bazar Patrika Searchlight. So tribal names were recorded in non-Christian Adivasis. Non-Christians Adivasis, non-Christians, any person will come under the Hindus. So non-Christian Adivasis at Catholic Sabha. Even though their meetings has taken place, but non-Christians will be called as Adivasis. They never belong to the Christianity. In 9th March 1940, at large meeting, the government declared Adivasi comes under Hindu. They themselves feeling is different. Government declaration is different. But several complaints came from the Scheduled Caste Association, Sikhs, Jains and Buddhists against the Hindus. There are some other subgroups in Hinduism. They do not want to say they belongs to Hindu. They do not want to be associated with them. They want to be separate. Whereas tribes or Adivasis wants to join in Hindu, but SC, Sikhs, Jain and Buddhists, they do not want to be part of the Hindus. Hutton said the Dalit were bounded by the purity and pollution principle, that is non-materialistic principle, rather than economic and social stand in the society, that is the materialistic. Reservations are allowed for Dalit Hindus. If they belong to Hindus only, they can utilize the reservation. That's why the last category of the Hindu is earlier days Dalits, Harijans, what we call. So Dalit Hindus, but not for Dalit Christians. If some Dalits were joined in the Christian, they should not enjoy the reservations. Only Dalit Hindus should enjoy the reservations. A report in the Inquilab in the Lahore meeting, March 1931 started. Many Muslims are not included in the census. Streets surrounding Jammu Masjid. Okay. Once again, we will recap the information. The census perspective, the caste system. Earlier, we covered the caste system in various aspects. The last aspect is census perspective. The census contains information about the people, that is their number, according to the age, sex, occupation and literacy, etc. Even pre-colonial states is also conducted the census. Example, Manusmriti, Kalhan, it was observed in the Rajatarangini book, and Ain-e-Akbari, that is the Muslim related book. Its main aim is to control the large and diverse Indian population. Both caste and religion is useful to recognize the nature of the people, such as insanity, intelligence, desire and ability for fight are the useful at the army. But later, religion is going on progressed or recognized, whereas caste system was disappearing. Caste act as a key factor in census, particularly during 1871 to 1931. From 1931 onwards, where they want to focus their census. In 1931, they focused on distribution of population. 1941, focused on to measure the economic status during wartime. In 1951, they focused on scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and limited caste taken from the backward group. First time the commission was formed for the backward classes made by the Roy Burman and Gallant. Due to the differences of caste groups among themselves, India cannot form the and unite and rule by themselves. So, Britishers utilized this opportunity in order to rule according to their wish and will. Due to the social and economic factors, many people use it to practice the casteism. The word ism is rules attached with. Casteism, caste related rules attached. Communism, communist party rules attached with them. Socialism, nationalism. So, ism means rules attached with that. Okay, caste in senses. The word caste is originated from Portuguese word casta. So, from this what we understood, this is not belong to the in India, Hindu system. In Hindu only we used the word varna. Okay, caste in those countries what they feel it, what their meaning is breed, species and tribals etc. Now it is using to refer the varna or jati up to 17th and 18th century. Even though the caste word is not related India, but it is useful to treated equally good with the varna or jati. The economy, migration and ecological differences are helping to form the new caste that further developed the confusion. Why the confusion has taken place? New caste came. How? Sometimes two castes are mixing, form the new. Sometimes the castes are divided and changes has taken place in their futures. So division and unite has given the opportunity to form the new caste. Finally, the enculturation process or phenomenon brought the new caste. What does it mean, enculturation? Enculturation is nothing but when two cultures, A, B cultures wants to talk or wants to meet with one another, each other, then after some amount of time, they will lose their native feelings or the native features and they want to mix together and form the C category. A and B mix together and form the C category, that is the new caste. Lost the originality, form the new form, new caste. Unsettled conditions of Mughal Empire period, the scheduled tribe and lower caste people become strong and they ruled their own area. So, Rajaputs or Kshatriyas, sometimes we may call them as, dominated in those areas and they had given good opportunity for the group of people, Brahmins, to be as a priests. Caste and religion concepts are useful to explain the native behavior of their local area. Race word came from the scientific preoccupation to classify many races. That subject we will discuss later. Though subcaste may differ, but through their generic name, basic name, all people together move together, feel together, belong together. Example, All India Yadava Sabha. Here Yadavas are nothing but the cattle rearing community. Gollalu, we can call it in Telugu language. Another example, Akhila Bharatiya Nayi Brahmin Mahasabha. This community or the caste refers to the Barbers community. Due to the Western culture and their educational system, all castes lost their faith in their own caste system. They were modernized, if possible, westernized. The Hindu Mahasabha did not want any caste-based census. Hindu word is a very broader term. It does not want to take the important word caste system in their Hindu philosophy because it was counteracted by the Muslim group. Even though they do not want to change, they do not want to discard, but when they were faced with the criticism from the side of Muslim group, then they do not want to give the much importance at the census for the caste people. In 1931, out of 238 million, 1.8 million people said there is no caste for us. in Bengal. Whereas in 1941, the Bengal people caste-based census are forming only to favor the specific community, that is specific caste. In Assam, Hindu Mahasabha has taken place. They said Adivasi are also treated as Hindus. So the tribals wants to be come under the Hindu religion. They started the meetings under how they want to say, how they want to inform to the government by conducting the number of meetings. Those are nothing but Sanatana Adivasi. It was mentioned in Indian Nation Amrita Bazar Patrika. So tribal names are recorded in non-Christian Adivasis at Catholic Sabha. In 9th March 1940, at large meetings, the government declared finally, after understanding the feelings of tribals, they were allowed to be as Hindus. Adivasis comes under Hindus. But several complaints came from them, from the Scheduled Caste Association, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists against those Hindus. So, the Hindus' general population is different. When they are included the Adivasis, which they won't like it. Who are won't like it? The scheduled caste people and which one? Another one is Jains and Sikhs. These people, Buddhists, they won't like it. Okay. Hutton said the Dalit were bounded by the purity and pollution. What is the characteristic feature of the Dalits? They use it to perform the impure activities, pollution. When they were finished the impurities in the forward caste or for the backward caste people, then it will turn into the purity. So they will belong to the pollution. So the caste principles are working. How the caste is running means you should say purity and pollution principle. So reservations are allowed for Dalit Hindus but not for Dalit Christians. If the people in the application, when they mentioned Harijana or Dalita under the Hindu caste system, they can enjoy the reservation. But if they will mention the caste as Dalit, but the religion is Christian, the government should not allow for that. And then this Hutton, what they said, even though they were be associated with the purity and pollution, but the economic standard is important in the society. A report in the Inqilab, there was a meeting had been taken place in Lahore 1931, stated many Muslims are not included in the census. Street surrounding, particularly Jummah Masjid. Today we will stop the lecture by itself. Now the essence of the information is, census means for every 10 years we will count the population depending upon the age, marital status, occupation, income, education, something like that. This phenomenon is not only confined to the present scenario, it was started in the long back also. Useful to understand the varieties of the nature of the people, may be healthy, intelligence, insanity, something like that. And also that the proper census will be started long back, 1871 to 31. One time 31 population, 41 economic standard and 51 that is for the SC, ST and few BC people. And new caste formation is also happening because of the enculturation. And Western influence brought the changes in the caste system. By that, caste people lost their faith in their own caste. And also Adivasi wants to join in the Hindu Mahasabha, Hindu religion, but the reservations only executed or operated only those belongs to the Dalit Hindu, but not Dalit Christian. Meanwhile, what happened? Some people, when they want to conduct the census, many Muslims are not accepted the caste system. So here it is, Muslims are in Inqilab at Lahore city, when they conducted the meeting, many Muslims are not included in the census, particularly those who are residing surrounding the Jummah Masjid. This is the brief information about the census related caste system or census perspective caste system. Next day we are going to wind up the entire caste system, the remaining information. Okay, you are listening but not liking or the subscribing. Okay, if possible do it. Good day and good night.